We're good.
Okay, good morning, everybody. Today's Friday, September 22nd, and we are reviewing the agenda for our Wednesday, September 27th commission meeting. Hand it over to the manager.
Thanks, Chairman. Good morning, Commission. It's a fairly brief agenda for next Wednesday. Nicole, what county business do we have?
Good morning, everyone. It is currently Hispanic Heritage Month, so we will show a video of some of the folks that work in our county that have taken the opportunity to interview with us. We will also highlight that October is Safety Month, and Elizabeth Wingo from Risk Management will be here to talk about that. And that's all I have.
Commission, we have several appointments to start the meeting off. It's all the metropolitan area departments, two MAPD, Metropolitan Area Planning Department appointments, and then a series of metropolitan area building and construction appointments for a couple of trades. Under new business, we have, and we toggled back and forth of whether this should be on new business or consent. It's Commission's will on this. A grant in the amount of $256,837 from the Kansas Department of Aging and Disability Services for IDD crisis stabilization. This is money for provider support for Medicaid waiver participants with disabilities and co-occurring complex behavioral health issues. The state has awarded $2 million more to that, and this is our piece of that. Tim, did you want to talk any more on that? It's it. We have a lot of grant information on the agenda today. So
the only comment I'd make is that this is new money that was approved by the legislature last year. And so they're looking for ideas and pilots. And so they invited us to submit. And so staff put together an application to see if we can't do something.
Oh, will this help us start reducing the backlog on people with IDD?
No, this is for people that are already on the waiver. So it does not impact the wait list itself. It supports the people that have gotten off of the wait list.
Thanks.
Any other questions?
item G, I'm sorry.
I'm just asking. The commissioners have any questions that are on Zoom?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Thanks. All right.
On
Okay.
my end, thank you.
Okay.
Item G, we'll talk about the new general pay plan that you all approved during the budget. We would like to initiate that pay plan a little bit early in November. So I'll present, and Lindsay and Sheena will also chime in on that. But that's item G on new business.
I assume, Tom, on that one, there's going to be backup material.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then item H is bid board. On consent, Lynn has an item on item I where the county had received a surface transportation block grant, and this is an amendment to that because costs are going up. I don't know, Lynn, if you want to talk about this. It's as simple as that, right?
Yes, this is also part of, they made some WAMPO, the project selection committee was able to utilize some funding and guarantee this. This brings us up to 80% funding from federal funds for this project. We weren't quite there before, and with their last amendment, that point, this is a result of their last amendment, which brought us up to 80% contributing funds.
Okay.
Items J and K are both service agreements on in benefit districts. Both have been approved by commission historically. Item J was approved by the commission on September 6th. And item K was approved on June 14th. These are professional engineering services agreements for road work within those improvement districts, which will be paid for by the specials. Item L is asking for permission to approve a submission for a grant request of almost $4 million from aging to KDADS for the Old American Act money. It's a Central Plains Agency request, and I might let Tim address that.
This item is the annual plan that they submit for the 3-county area agency on aging. They do it every year. This is a similar amount. There's a little bit of, I think there may be a little bit of extra money in there, but it is a recurring, and this funds the bulk of the nutrition programs across the 3-county area. And of course, most of the services happen here in Sedgwick County.
Item M is another agreement, this one with the Derby School District for Mental Health Intervention Program.
So how many districts now in Sedgwick County do we have that are getting this service?
I know we did Valley Center and Mulvane a couple of weeks ago.
Three, I think it was 4. Yeah.
Or so far. I think that we may be in 6. I don't know if Joan's on or not, but if not, we'll send you a note to tell you how many of them.
Items N and O are what Mr. Stonehouse presented at staff this week. These are the approvals for the comprehensive plans, outcome report being approved. And Steve will be on hand on Wednesday if there's any further question on that, or I think he's on today. If you have any further follow-up question. Item P is an amendment to an existing grant agreement. It extends the current contract of the existing agreement between CDDO and KDADS. Tim can address that if there's any questions. And while if Tim does have the microphone, I do want to address item Q, which is the WIC email that you all got from Adrian yesterday.
P is the annual agreement with KDADS. There's been some negotiation back and forth. The ultimate decision was to extend the existing contract. And so that's what that did for an additional year under the same terms and conditions. So that's what it does between KDADS and the CDDO. And then Adrian sent a note out about the WIC grant application that is another annual renewal of WIC funding. And she sent you some data on that. And if you've got additional questions, please let us know and we can help you with that as well.
Item R is Dr. Stedman's request to reappoint Dr. Grill to his contract as county coroner. Item S is a request to fill a additional position in health with grant money to do a number of things, but to help with a IT related workflow on some business process there. And I might, if there's questions, I might turn that over to Tim. It is a temporary position that will be paid for by grant. And then item T is some reclassification and creation of tiers for fleet management, forensic science. And one of the things we attempted to do, this is 3 or 4 years ago, was give employees within their departments room to grow without necessarily promoting to supervisor level. So you've seen some of these. This is the latest iteration of the creation of tiers where in fleet, for example, they're creating mechanic 1, 2, and 3 based on the level of certification and skill set that each individual employee has. And as they attain those, they can go up in those grades. And same in Shelley's world with medical investigators 1 and 2. It gives the employees room for growth within their current positions without having to transfer or take promotions. We do that in several departments within the county. And we're really promoting it. I think Justin's actually going to take a look at it in counselor's office as well. We're promoting that organizationally as a way to give employees a way to grow within their positions by attaining additional skills. So that's the latest iteration of that. And that is go ahead, Commissioner.
Well, if I can go back to Q whenever that's good. And Tim, I'm happy to come to your office and get a bigger, deeper rundown. But there were 2 observations that I noticed. One is that the funding is down, and 2, the number of applicants seems to be decreasing too. Were there changes in the program or?
Adrian's on as well, but that is a national trend. There has been a long running, probably 5 to 7 year decline in participation in that program. I think some of it may be tied to birth rates, but there are other factors that she may be able to respond to too.
Good morning. Yes. And so what Tim said is true historically around the country, but we also know that, and our numbers are on track to get above what they were in 2020. I think our numbers would be even higher if people weren't having to wait so long to get an appointment. I mean, we're out of compliance. Stanley closed August of 22. And we absorbed quite a bit of those moms and kids. but not all. And I mean, we haven't filled any of the positions we had for Stanley. And at this point, I don't think that a third site is probably in the future because we just don't have the funds. But we need some of that staffing to be able to handle the amount of clients that we have coming in, and we haven't been able to fill those positions. So that gets in the way as well, because I would like to do a lot of marketing, because I'm hearing people that aren't aware of WIC or that they would be eligible for WIC, but we've got to get staffing in. And some of those we can't fill now, just because of the reduction in funding that we're receiving from USDA. State WIC did say there's a potential that after everything's settled that there might be additional funds, but we're not sure about that.
Well, I'll spend some more time on that data, and then I'll circle back to you, Adrian and Tim, and for kind of more in depth. I want to understand more. I don't feel like I understand the program that well, so I'll do my best.
That's all we had on main agenda. There is a fire agenda with a singular issue of bid board, and there is no executive session.
Okay. Yeah, Commissioner Howe, did you have something you were pointing out?
Yeah, the title on the regular meeting looks like it needs to be a slight amendment there on the title. That's all.
Sorry, just an update on that. That was a glitch in the system and it will be updated for the final publication.
I don't have any questions. I would also say the information that Commissioner Beatty requested, I would also like to have that. I've been tracking this for years. I would like to get those numbers as well. So thank you for that.
Okay. Anything else from commissioners? Staff management? Okay. It's an empty room this morning. Have a safe weekend, and we all will be attending the rollout of how many 737s? 10,000?
Yeah, 10,000 a couple years ago. So
Yeah.
it's gonna be way above that.
Yeah. So, and then also the opening of the Veterans Court is this morning. So that's a big deal. We'll be there. And other than that, everybody have a good Friday and a good weekend.
And that number is 12,000, by the way, 12,000.
12,000. Thank
There
you
you
for
go,
clarifying.
yes.
You're right. Because we were at the 10,000.
Yeah.
Wow.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. See you there.